As COVID cases and hospitalizations climb once again in the Sunshine State, Florida's top health official is recommending those under 65 avoid getting the new booster shots, which are expected later this week.
Yeah, and that warning comes despite the nation's health agencies signing off on the shots as safe and effective. Our Capitol reporter Forrest Saunders has the story in Tallahassee.
Florida's governor Wednesday cheering new state guidance against forthcoming COVID shots, alleging in an online post they were, quote, hastily approved and that Floridians won't be, quote, guinea pigs. It comes after the state surgeon general, Dr. Joe Ladapo, said in this virtual roundtable he's advising against the use of new boosters for those under 65.
With virtually every walking human being having some degree of immunity, and the questions we have about safety and about effectiveness, especially about safety, my judgment is that it's not a good decision.
Ladapo, who's a controversial figure on COVID, said evidence supporting the shots wasn't enough to warrant his backing.
We at least need to better understand it before charging forward like our esteemed leaders at the CDC and the FDA.
The new Pfizer and Moderna boosters were developed to better target variants. The FDA and CDC signed off on them earlier this week, saying benefits outweigh risks for everyone 6 months and older.
Try to relax this arm.
Federal officials say the shots have been well researched, citing preclinical trials and data showing risk of cardiac complications in young men is higher with COVID infection than vaccination.
The boogeyman may be out there, but it's not the federal government, it's not the vaccine, it's those who are trying to conjure up these images that are just not based in fact.
The nation's Health and Human Services Secretary, Xavier Becerra, is among those backing the shots and now questioning Florida's guidance against them.
That's more than a head scratcher, especially for any medical professional to be out there saying that in the face of all the science and the medicine that's been done, the investigative work, the testing on this vaccine, for anyone who calls themselves an MD to say don't get vaccinated with this COVID vaccine, as I said, it's more than a head scratcher.
Meanwhile, the state's cases and hospitalizations are again on the rise.
There's a reason to start taking action. I'm sure most people have heard about people around them getting sick and infected with COVID.
Epidemiologist Jason Salemi says while serious cases haven't reached last year's levels and are a tenth of the pandemic's worst, there are reasons to be concerned.
About 4 months ago, Florida was at a little over 600 adults who had been currently hospitalized with confirmed COVID-19. That number, again, just compared to 4 months ago, is up 174%.
But despite the figures, most Americans seem uninterested in getting boosted. Less than 20% got the previous shot, according to the CDC. Federal officials hope the new vaccines will change that, even if Florida takes a different path. Forrest Saunders, ABC Action News.